Okay, so I want to apologize for not being able to meet with you last week. I know that we were going to try to, but that didn't work out. So today you can talk about anything that you want to, anything that's going on. We've talked about confidentiality. So I want to kind of switch it up. And this time I'm going to ask you what your definition of confidentiality is.
Okay. What I think confidentiality is that whatever we talk about stays between us. But if it was something as if I'm talking about hurting myself or hurting others, or if there's like abuse or any illegal things, then you'd have to tell the higher ups about it.
Right, okay. Just because I want this to be a safe place, and if any of those things are going on, I need to take steps just to make sure that you're safe, okay? And this time you're gonna notice that we're videoing. So this is gonna be used just for educational purposes, for training, and then once that's done, it'll be destroyed. So I did wanna let you know so we can handle the elephant in the room, which is the recording.
Okay.
But, so, what's been going on?
Okay. Well, what had happened to me last year, which it is taken care of, and I do have court next week.
Right.
It took a big toll on me, and it didn't really start hitting me until like a year of. So it happened November 16th of my 8th grade year, and then like 1 year was obviously my 9th grade year, November 16th, and like around that same time of like a year or like 11 months, it started hitting me bad. And I didn't really notice what it was at first because I always just get so sad and so down and out, and I really didn't know where it was stemming from. But I figured that that's probably where it was coming from. And I started to get help, and it started getting a little bit better. But then now I got court next week for it, and I gotta see him. So it's just made me very anxious.
Yeah, so you're feeling a lot of anxiety right now. Right.
I'm feeling a lot of anxiety and just nervous ball, really what it is. I'm just scared of the outcome, I guess, of what it's gonna come out to be.
Okay, so have you thought about, what good could come out of this? Not just the bad, but what about the good?
Yeah, I think that's my problem. It's just I just think about the bad. I don't think about the good because we could win.
Right.
And he could get charged and stuff, and the trial could go the best way it could. Just I don't know how to put it. Gosh, what's that word? I can't remember the word, but I just go with the bad outcome more than think.
Looking at the worst of it, right? Instead of the good. What would it look like for you, say next week you go into this and you do win? What's that look like moving forward?
A lot of relief.
Right. A lot of relief. A lot of differences. How do you think that's going to affect you coming to school? Because I know attendance is a big thing that we've talked about. I know that you are missing a lot of school. But if we look at this and you win next week, what's that look like as far as school?
I probably would end up, because the reason why I miss a lot now is just because I wake up and I don't feel good at all mentally, and I just want to stay home and sleep, and I think it's just a better idea just to sleep it off instead of coming to school. But I feel like if we do win, then I'd probably be in a better attitude, and I'd probably be happy. I'd probably be very happy and relieved, and it wouldn't be such a struggle trying to get up every morning and get ready and go to school.
Right. So what I hear you say is you're sleeping a lot right now, and that's kind of just making you want to stay home. You don't want to come to school. You're feeling down, anxious about next week. What are some things that you could do to kind of improve your mood a little bit?
I'd say I can probably get back into some new hobbies.
What do you like to
Or-
do?
I used to like painting and crafts a lot. Yeah, I used to
Okay.
be like very artistic and stuff. And the other day, I decorated this pair of sunglasses I had, and I don't know, it brought a lot of joy back. So I feel like me just getting back into my old hobbies and stuff would probably help a lot.
Painting.
Yes.
Well, that sounds good. What else do you like to do? I know you're in band, right? So how you feel about music? As far
I
as
would
helping
say-
you, your mood and things.
Oh my gosh, I love music. I'm not a big fan of the band class itself, but my teacher's pretty great. But music itself helps a lot, and like sometimes it does counteract with your mood, because if you listen to like sad songs and stuff like that, obviously it's gonna make you feel worse. But whenever I feel bad, I try and listen to music and like put me in like upbeat mood and stuff. So it helps cope with it a lot.
What's one of your favorite songs?
Oh, there's a song called "What You Heard" by Sonder. Yeah.
What you
It's-
heard?
Yeah. It sounds really very upfront, but it's a good song.
Is it a good song?
Yes, you should listen.
So
to
we
it
should
sometime.
listen. Oh, I should listen to it sometime.
Yep.
All right, let's do it.
We're gonna listen to it.
Let's listen to it. You want to listen to it?
Sure.
I would love to see what's upbeat and put you in a good mood. So it's called What You Heard?
Yes.
What You
It might
Heard.
not be as
Okay, well, it's okay. We'll look for the appropriate version. And who sings it? Sonder? Let's see. All right. Here's one. I don't know that it's. We'll listen to it and see how it goes. How about that? Let me turn this up a little bit so we can hear it. As we're listening to this, if you hear something you want to talk about it, something you like about it, let's try it. You can tell me if this is the right one.
Yeah, it's alright.
This is the right
I
one?
just hope it's.
You hope
It
it's.
sounds a little sad. But it's
Does it
not.
sound sad? Okay, let's listen to it and see. Okay.
I like it because it's very soothing.
Okay. You like his soothing voice,
Yeah.
right?
Like the background music is very. I think that's what I like about music a lot. Is it's background music. 'Cause
Not so
sometimes-
much what even they're saying,
No.
right? But the
sometimes
background.
What they say is.
It's got good background.
That's how a lot of my songs are. 'Cause like,
Kinda just-
I'll play them in the car with my mom.
Right.
Like she'll be like, that sounds a little creepy. I'm like, I know, I really don't go for lyrics. I kind of go for like the background soothing because it's just.
You got a good relationship with your mom?
Yeah. We used to. Well, I've always. It's kind of been an iffy relationship, but now it's actually a lot better, especially since my sister passed away and stuff.
Right.
I've been trying to be there for her and stuff.
I like that. That's a good song. I like the background. And it doesn't sound too bad as far as clean. Or that's the clean version. So, you and your mom. That's going better.
We, like, ever since my sister passed away, like a month ago, it's been a little over a month. Like, I don't know, I've always been so iffy about, like, affection, like, physical affection. I've always kind of been that way. I think it's from, like, whenever I was younger, I didn't get showed, how do you put it? I didn't get as much physical affection that I think a regular person would. So, like, growing up, like, getting hugs and stuff from my mom always felt like a little weird, and it still kind of does, especially after what happened to me, too. I've always, now my, like,
Right.
me and, like, physical affection always is just up even higher. And it's not like I don't appreciate it and I don't love people that show me affection, but it's just very, so, I don't know, it makes me feel weird, I guess, being loved on. I don't know how to put it.
The physical part of it, or emotionally too?
I think it's kind of both. Well, no, I don't know, I feel like more at the beginning it was emotional, and then after what happened to me it was more like physical, so then they kind of counteracted with each other. But at first I felt like it was kind of like emotional, because I felt very like emotionally detached from her,
Right.
because like how I grew up around her and stuff, and the things she was doing wasn't really like really close. Then after what happened to me, and like obviously she's better now, she's a lot better now. Now she's showing me a lot more physical affection and like emotionally and stuff, and it kind of feels weird because it was a big change.
Right. And I hear you say a lot of that occurred when your sister died.
Mm-hmm.
Like that change, that shift.
Yeah.
But you feel like it's for the better?
Yeah, I definitely feel like it's for the better because I feel a lot more loved and stuff, and I feel like I gotta step out my comfort zone and show the love back a lot more, because I feel bad, because obviously my sister passing away hurts, but
Right.
I can't imagine how my mom feels, because that was her daughter, that was her first daughter, so I know it's gotta be hard for her, and I don't want her feeling like I don't love her, so I just try my best to be there for her.
So what are some ways that you think you can be there for her?
Probably not staying in my room cooped up as much. That's what I've been working on, is trying to get out my room and, go pop in, visit her for a second in her room or whatever, and, say, hey, what are you doing? Give her a hug, more physical affection than I was. Whenever she invites me to go somewhere, like, she'll have to go to the store, then, like, I've started going with her a lot more. And, like, going outside with the dogs, I've started going and not being
That's
more,
a big deal.
yeah, being
Right.
more doing stuff with her so she don't feel so alone.
You're getting more involved and just
Yeah.
being present around her.
Mm-hmm.
That's awesome.
Yeah. I don't know. I've just been working on it a lot.
I'm proud of you.
Thank
That's big steps. Like, those are things that we've talked about. Those are very big steps. Just taking the initiative to do something together and welcome that physical affection that you've been really kind of just not open to.
Yeah.
But as this court date's coming up, a lot of things are changing.
A lot. And one thing I am glad about the court date thing is I'm not so alone,
Right.
because my friend also went through it with the same person. So me and her have to be there on the same day because we both have to testify. So I'm glad that me and her are able to be with each other while each other, like, before and after each other testifies and stuff, so we kind of be emotional support, I guess. So I think that's a lot better than just being alone and like stuff. So I figure we can, be there for each other before.
So I hear you saying you don't feel alone right now, right?
Mm-mm.
You feel like you've got somebody that kind of understands.
Yeah.
It's a good friendship there.
Yeah. It's fun. And I feel like we were good friends before, but ever since it happened and we kind of had to go through this whole court process and the court dates being moved and stuff, I feel like it kind of brought us closer together. Which, on bad terms, I wish
Right.
it wouldn't have been the thing that brought us together, but I feel like it has brought us together a lot.
Right, you found something that came out of it.
Mm-hmm.
This friendship, that is good.
Yeah, it's brought a couple positives. Good thing in a bad situation.
Right.
Um,
Well, you can talk about something else positive or something that you're struggling with. Any of that.
what else has been going on? I feel like, especially too with court and everything, which I said before about my anxiety and stuff, but my anxiety's always been
Right.
bad. But I feel like each day it gets closer, my anxiety just gets worse and worse and worse, and it's on my mind a lot more. But I just need to find things to just help me calm down and have a peace of mind that no matter how much I worry about it, it's going to happen. The day's going to come, you know, like, no matter how much I worry about it, it's going to be, nothing's going to change
Right.
no matter how much I worry about it. I'm trying to think about what else has been going on.
It's a lot going on with court and at home.
Yeah. I don't know. Through my life, I just feel like I haven't really had like a break.
Like a moment to just breathe.
Yeah. 'Cause I feel like it's always just been one thing after another. Like, whenever I was younger, my parents used to argue a lot. Like my dad used to have his job and he would only make like $600 something every 2 weeks, and it was like, you can barely live off that with bills. That's not even enough for the bills that we have now. But like whenever I was younger in elementary school and stuff, he didn't have such a good paying job, and you know, I didn't have the best of stuff either because we didn't have as much money. And back then, she's not now, so it's not anything you gotta worry about or anything. But my mom was on drugs back then, but she's not anymore. So with having a drug addict and no pay, they would argue all the time about money and stuff. And my dad's always been a good guy. But yeah, and they used to argue and fuss all the time, and I'd just sit there and cry and cry and cry and cry. And obviously, I wouldn't say it's trauma, but it's definitely took a toll on me having to live through that, getting older, and where I didn't have as much good stuff.
Right.
People make fun of me in elementary school and stuff, and then I got to middle school, and at a young age, I got into a relationship, and the relationship was terrible. From my 6th grade to the beginning of the 8th grade year, so it was like 2 years, I was in a relationship with this guy, and he was absolute worst. Like, I feel like that's what you learn about a manipulator too, is like, at first they make everything so good and they care about you and make you feel so loved, and they shower you with affection, and then as time goes by they just treat you like crap. And it's like, whenever I was younger, that's what I felt was love, because with my parents being so disconnected with each other, and
Right.
they really never had as much time for me and like affection and stuff, that's where I got it from. So it was like the first time I was ever what I thought was love. That's what I thought was love. And I was fighting so hard to keep it, because that was where I felt love from. So I would just deal with all the crap, and yeah, I dealt with it for 2 years. He would blackmail me. He would want me to starve myself. He would body shame me, tell me I need to do this or that. He would control me wherever I went. I swear, I really don't think I went anywhere without my friends. I had to cut off so many of my friends, which I admit it is some of my fault. I shouldn't have let him control me, but it's just hard whenever you get into a relationship like that. And he would control what I wore. Like, it was really terrible, and I'm so glad I got out of it. So then I got out of that relationship finally in my 8th grade year, and 2 months later, then I get raped. So, but nonetheless, them 2 months that we broke up, he still was blackmailing me and everything, and then I ended up getting raped, and the whole school found out, and you know, everybody was just saying things. Obviously, as kids do. Everybody was saying all kinds of things about how I'm lying and all this and that, and then even months after of what happened to me, he still was blackmailing me and wanting me to meet with him and and I even went virtual. School because he'd always try to get me to meet with him in school, and I would tell him no, and he'd be like, well, I'm gonna do this or this or that if you don't. So I ended up going virtual. And then even whenever I was virtual, he would still blow up my phone all the time, telling me if I don't answer the phone, then this, that, or the third. And I would lie about having my phone taken. My mom's never taken my phone. I've never done anything bad to have my phone taken. But I'd always lie and say, like, she's going to take my phone for a week just so I could finally get a break. But then I ended up telling my mom about it, and she took care of it for me. And I was so scared to tell her because I was so scared I was going to be in trouble and she was going to be mad at me. But my mom's a really understanding person.
She's got your back, is what I hear. Like,
yeah.
You got a good relationship there now.
Yeah, I'm really proud about it. Like, also, in the 7th grade was whenever she had quit doing drugs and stuff because, like, in one weekend, she had 2 car wrecks because she was so messed up. And that's, like, at the end. And, like, the most heartbreaking thing was seeing her get worse and worse and worse and so far deep into it. I thought she was going to end up killing herself from doing it. But she ended up getting a 2 car wrecks in 1 weekend total in 2 cars. And that's when she was just like, I gotta quit. And I think what weighed down on me for a while, which I was so glad that she quit, but what weighed down on me for a while is I used to just sit and cry to her and ask her to quit. And it was just like, I kept feeling so guilty and so bad about it because I kept feeling like she wouldn't even quit for me. She quit for her own self. Which, I mean, I'm glad she's quit, granted. I really, really am. But no matter how many times I cried to her to quit, she just wouldn't.
Right.
But yeah, and then...
That's rough.
Yeah. You know, my 8th grade year and all that happened, and then into my 9th grade year, and my courts got pushed for forever now. Like, it's been pushed like 3 or 4 times, but I'm finally having it next week, and I'm just so glad to get it over with. And also, my sister passed away. But I'm glad she was with us for the last couple months she was alive. And, like, you know, it was just so surprising. But honestly, not that I wanted my sister to die or anything, but I feel like, honestly, for the best, it was probably best that she went as she did. Then us found out she did have cancer, which was already spread a lot. It was an aggressive one. But, it probably went the best way it could, because I feel like if we would have found out she had cancer and she would have to go through chemo and suffering and for months and months and months, not knowing when she's really going to pass away and what day, and just keep having to worry about it all the time. I feel like that's probably what was for the best. And she's a worrier too, so I know that if she found out, she would already be gone mentally, that she would be physically.
She would have worried so much. Being sick. It's a lot going on.
Yeah, that's kind of my life story in a nutshell.
Have you ever thought about journaling?
I used to try it before.
Have you?
Like writing in like a notebook.
Mm-hmm.
Like I'd try and like do a little journal entry every day, but I'd always end up forgetting.
Even if we don't do it every day, sometimes that can just be helpful. Writing down how we're feeling. If we're having a moment, I know you said a lot about being anxious. Like if we're having a moment to just sit and write those thoughts down, like see them on paper, can really be helpful.
Just kind of processing it.
To process all the things that you're feeling or the things that you're experiencing. It's a whole lot of stuff. It might be helpful if it's something that you'd be interested in. Just trying. Doesn't have to be every day. Just sometimes. Something to make you feel a little bit better.
Yeah, I'll probably will try.
Okay. Well, that's going to be your homework for when we have our next session together. How's that?
Yeah.
But how do
Sounds
you
good.
feel closing this out? Like, do you feel like there's anything else you need to talk about?
No, I feel like I've trauma dumped. I feel like I've kind of let
You
out
trauma
all my-
dumped?
Yeah, I feel like I've
Like
kind of just
that.
let out all my baggage and talked about it.
And you feel a little bit better?
Definitely.
Okay. Well, I'm glad that you came in and let me talk to you today. And this is a safe place. If you need to come back between now and even your court date next week, you can just let them know that you want to talk. Okay? All right. Well, thank you.